the Cool Paso podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa, and we want you to like and subscribe to this video on YouTube, please, and on Spotify as well. Also, support what we do. Please visit our website, coolpaso.com, to order your next game to be on YouTube. We have a very special guest today. We have El equipo Los Cyclones! Did I say that right? Yes. Right. Okay, so the Cyclones are here. We have Andy Chavez. Andy, tell us a little bit about the Cyclones.
Well, the Cyclones is a pretty well-established team. We go back to 2001, I believe, when my brothers established it. Kind of took the reins from them about 10 years ago. My son, he had just turned 4, and I just found the first sport that was in season because as a dad, you just want your child to be in sports, and the flag football just happened to be it. But I was such a sideline dad that they were like, "Why don't you just help us out?" And just started helping out the team there and became one of the coaches there with the pack with Mike. Shout out Mike. Um, then branched out on my own, started the Cyclones group, the 6U to 14U, I believe. And then eventually we started coaching in Juarez, started helping out with the youth over there. And then we started, bringing on people to play in the leagues over there because the official rules for flag football are the FAF rules. We don't play them here, unfortunately. We play with different set of rules. So if we wanna if we wanna compete in these tournaments that are like sanctioned and stuff like that, we have to practice in Juarez. So we began playing in Mexico for those tournaments, and then we fell in love with the people there, not the rules, but the people. But the people there, they were so welcoming, and it's just a different type of flag out there. And yeah, I went from just a family team with my brothers back in 2002 to, like, I can say, a really well established program that has both teams here that are very competitive and teams in Mexico that compete at a very high level now. And we were just granted access to some of the fields over there. So now that we have that room to practice, it's going to grow even more out there. So I'm happy. I'm blessed. It's taken me a lot of places. It's I've met a lot of great people. I've made a lot of great friendships. I've traveled. I've been able to see people develop on and off the field. Both with my own children and then with the kids that we coach. Just to see them, the reward of, like, they see the fruit of their labor. It's been a blessing. I'm blessed. Um, and there's only bigger things coming. Like, we get to do this. This is cool as well. And I also, before anything else, want to give you a shout out as well.
Yes.
Because,
Shout out Cool Paso.
yeah, shout out Cool
Copa.
Paso.
Always.
Because you've been there to document a lot of this from the start. Since I've been out there, I see you, with an umbrella if it's raining, with your jacket if it's cold. So you're also a very important part of this process for everybody, because you get to document this, and it also helps the sport grow. In ways, it helps the sport grow a lot because there's that exposure out there, and everybody gets to look back on all these great things. Like, it doesn't always have to be this team that's just amazing and they're recording themselves. Like, there's some team that's on the up and up, and it might be their first touchdown, and you were there to record it, and then that person may go on and move on and do big things. And that first video of Cool Paso recording my first touchdown is always going to be there. So shout out to you. Like I said, you're a very important part of this whole thing when it comes to the flag community.
Thank you. And the reason why we invited you guys today is because you're champions. Talk a little bit about that.
How many times you talk about that?
Cyclone state champs, all right? And people will talk, their mess or whatever, but these guys find a way to win. And I think we've developed a culture where we have each other's back, but we also hold each other accountable without people feeling like it's an attack. So this tournament specifically, I think we were at the advantage because we practiced so much in Mexico with those rules. So we knew kind of coming in, like I'm like, man, it's gonna frustrate people because it frustrated us when we
We
first
first
started
got
playing. We it
Yes.
frustrated
We,
those
we
rules
lost
will
so
Yeah.
bad in the playoffs,
It's
and it was
so
just off of rules.
Yes.
that first tournament, literally, we gave the team so first and goal. We gave them 12 plays from first and goal
Just
because they kept
breaking the
calling us for
rules.
contact. I mean, the rule they were saying contact. We're like we didn't touch them. Literally, they had first and goal for literally for 12 times. We ended up stopping them on that drive, but it literally the tournament. Then that was our first tournament over there. But since then, like we've grown, we've won, and it's
Yeah.
just to Andy's point, it's just we hold each other accountable. But it's like it's criticism, but it's like it's you're better than that. What are you messing up for? Like you're better than that. You know
Yeah.
your skill level. So and it's just the development, or it's the ones that are just now coming out. So it's like, hey, you got it next time. Hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. So it's like we have skill levels to like me. I'm the old guy that's been here playing forever. And we got people that are 16 that are just now coming out. So we have that gap to where we can bridge that. And I think this tournament was really like that. We were able to move people in. It was like, hey, you know what? I've done this before. You go ahead and have your turn. You know, so I think that was like the big
That
part
was
about
big.
this
That was
tournament. It was real big on everyone getting a turn, everyone playing, everyone, you know, we just want everyone to feel a part of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of everybody getting their turn, Andy, can you please introduce these champions that you've brought with you?
All right. Well, like I said, we're a very diversified team. We got, youth categories, masters categories, women's, men's. From our youth category, it's the 18U. They are a team that is put together from different teams in Juarez. Right, they're mostly from Juarez. So shout out to all the teams, Yamas, Ducks, Elite that let us, use their girls. Very, very strong group. They fell to Cuervitas, who are the champions, but those girls, they have a very well put together system. But, we're going to get them. So this is Mafer, or Six, as we like to call her, for our women's group and co-ed. She's been with me since almost the start. So we got Perla, and then Marcus for the men's and masters, men's and viejito, which is I'm in there as well.
35 plus.
35 and older. we got Marcus as well.
And Marcus was just telling us a little bit about the tournament. How did you like it? What did you
Well,
think about it?
I think it was an advantage. I'd say, like Andy's point, we had the advantage of it. That was great because I had a hand in helping out. I was able to ref a couple times in between. They were shorthanded. They had some refs that backed out at the end. So in between games, I was refing. The Dominguez brothers, shout out to the Dominguez brothers of Interflag. They were just like, hey, can you ref? I told them prior to the tournament, like, hey, I'm only playing. Normally, I play all the categories. This time, I only played in 3 of the categories. So I told them, hey, I'll be available. You know, when we go to Chihuahua playing the same tournament, like I think the match we played was 20 games, no, 19 games. We won. We played 19 games. So it's just going out there and just having fun.
And talk a little bit more about your champions.
Well, the co-ed group, it was cool. We won it the last time around too in Interflag. We beat a pretty solid squad out there. Um, the this time around, like I said, for us as an organization, right, we're starting to kind of mix in, the people from Mexico. So it was good because we were loaded, right? We were squatted up. We had a lot of people, but we didn't have like playing time issues because everybody's so like I said, it was for these guys kind of passing the torch and going like, hey man, like have your moment. So a lot of the younger kids were able to shine as well. And then our QB Monzon, thankfully, there's a lot of people out there that are really great quarterbacks, but it takes a really good quarterback to be able to play with your girls in a co-ed. And I'll preach this till I'm blue in the face. You win your co-ed with your women, with your girls. Shout out all girls.
Vouch for that.
Shout out all the
Girl
girls.
power.
That's you find them. That's where because honestly, that's a lot of times that's where the mismatches are. You can find the mismatches more with the women. Men tend, you can kind of move around and match up, but you can really expose the matchup with women. And I think that's what we try our best to do is on the field and we just communicate.
Yeah. And then this group is just those girls have put in the work, man. Those girls have put in the work in the co-ed, in the women's bracket out here. Sometimes they'll play the co-ed games just to girls, to get that work in and stuff. So this tournament specifically, I was asked to put in a lot of teams. We had the most teams in there. We had a 12U, we had a 14 with an 18U men's masters co-ed. So I was glad that I was able to kind of go and do all that and be busy with all that, and then it didn't kind of fall apart because some teams need direction. So I was able to go to the 14U championship, and I came back, and to good news, they had taken care of business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that was funny because I remember I had just finished playing in the Masters game, and they're like in the Masters championships, they're like, "Hey, hurry, hurry, hurry! We're gonna start co-ed." So I'm running too, and I seen him on the way, like, "Hey, let's go! We play right now." He goes, "Nah, just not even with a thought. I have the girls to take care of. Like,
Yeah.
hey, don't worry about it. You guys got it. Monzon got the plan. You guys go handle that. You guys go win. I'll be right there to celebrate with you guys. Like,
He
not
put
even
that
hesitate.
trust.
Like,
He literally put
yeah.
that trust on us.
yeah.
So
And not only
work on
that,
it.
it's the trust, and also too, it's just like, hey, you guys are not important. Like these, like people don't see that. Like people say a lot of things about Andy, but like when it comes down to like making sure everyone around him's okay, like he's gonna do that. So that's what people can say. Whatever they want to say, I'll put it on record. Like
He just has no filter. But why is that wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so, but at the end of the day, he's
Yeah.
gonna make sure if you're in his circle or you're around him, like you're gonna be okay. And that's one of the things too, like culturally, like like no, I'm not Hispanic, Let's be honest, like so taking me over, putting me over there. Like at first, I was like, man, I don't know. He's like, bro, what are you worried about? You're with me. Don't worry about it. We'll be okay. So just that goes and just the culture over there, and just just how football, the thing I love most, like brings you together with other people. It's kind of like I think that's the thing that we love most.
Okay, yeah. And Perla, talk a little bit about the other champions that couldn't make it to the podcast.
well, all of us are very adaptable. So I need to give like big shout out to all of us because we all can move around to different positions, do different jobs. If one of us gets hurt, I'm more confident than anyone that I can ask any of the girls to step in. And like I said, we are really good at okay, if we're struggling, like how can we do it? How can I help you be better? Or should we switch positions? It's just the teamwork, honestly. But it did take us a while to get there. We did have like a struggling start, especially the women. So we knew we didn't want to suck. I'll just be real. We knew we didn't want to suck, so we knew it was going to require work. And a couple years later, and here we are.
Right. And if we didn't mention, the tournament was this past weekend. It was called the Interflag flag football tournament. And basically, teams from Mexico come here to play American teams. Mafer, sintió una diferencia entre los equipos de México y los equipos de aquí en los Estados Unidos.
Ah, sí, es muy diferente, mucho, muy diferente. Acá en Juárez, están muy acostumbrados a que cualquier cosita piden una flag. O sea, piden que sea un comportamiento ya sea
Cry
antideportivo, ya sea un contacto, ya sea un bloqueo a las banderas y se les mueven. En Juárez están muy acostumbrados a eso. Y acá en El Paso, nada que ver, así que te pueden estar así empujando y si no es muy obvio el contacto o la flag, no la van a marcar.
Me fijo eso.
Entonces, es complicado si juegas mucho ahí en Juárez y luego vienes acá al Paso y juegas, porque sí son más toscos y está muy bien eso de lo agresivo, porque pues estás peleando al final de cuentas la bola, ¿no? Estás peleando un buen juego. Pero cuando yo vine acá a jugar por primera vez, yo me acuerdo que fue en un torneo que me invitó Andy, metió un equipo de puras niñas a un equipo que solo era de hombres, o sea, ese torneo era solo equipos varoniles y las niñas jugamos. Entonces, sí era muy diferente porque a pesar de que eres niña, llegan y te empujan y te avientan y pues no te marcan nada porque así es el juego acá. Entonces, es un poco complicado acostumbrarse o más bien adaptarse a las reglas de diferentes lugares, tanto ellos para Juárez y nosotros para acá, para El Paso.
Right.
Sí.
Yeah, the rules, adapting to the rules, like she mentioned, it's an adjustment. And I don't kind of feel bad for some of the teams that were playing in the tournament because it's not that hard to read a rule book.
Yeah.
And 90% of those dudes did not read the rule book. They just assumed that, the rules were gonna be what they normally are. And those rules will frustrate you.
I
Those
saw a
will-
rule. There was no jumping when you throw the ball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was people getting mad about that.
And-
So the jumping's just
jumping in general, it's a protection. So at first I looked at some like when I first started playing, I was like over in there, I was like, man, this is dumb. It's pointless like that, but it protects a little bit. It's a little bit safer. It really allows you to play the game and just play the game of football. Like you gotta understand, like, if you want contact, you want to go play tackle or go play rugby, go play a contact sport.
Yes.
So I used to be one of the guys. I'll be at first like that. Well, it's football or something, but you gotta understand, like, no, it's controlled. You have to be able to control yourself. I think it makes you more of a better player, like to be able to control yourself at that point. You know, going fast and then stop it and control it versus just going through someone. I think that's takes a little bit more skill.
And just to be clear, the FAF rules are the official rules of flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're the ones that are wrong.
Remix it and
Like
change
if
it.
you go to the Olympics, they use the FAF rules. If you do
Yeah.
the 7-on-7, it's the FAF rules. Like everywhere else, but here, they use the official rules of the FAF. So it's not like they came in here with a new concept and it's like it's those are the official rules of flag football. We just are not used to them because the teams here don't travel enough to tournaments that have those kind of rules. They just do the USA flag circuit, you know. So, but just for everybody out there, those are the rules, the official rules.
And we learn them out. They helped us twice
Yeah.
in one of our games. That us knowing and understanding the rules. Like there was times like there's a rule where if within 1 minute and you have both of your timeouts and you have the lead, you can call both timeouts and just kill the clock and go into halftime. There was a game where we scored right before halftime and I literally was watching the clock. I like tell me when it's watching down. They were taking their sweet time coming out to offense. I'm like, they're not gonna get the playoff. So the timeout. So then they could have came out. So we scored and we got ball back at half. So just knowing and understanding the rules is, and that's the thing too, like that. The rush, Andy got us so many on the rush. We were like, he goes switch in our games, like just getting the rush, knowing how to understand the rush, making the defender run into you. It's like I have the right of way, you don't. Like just knowing and understanding the rules. Like they're like, oh, you guys are cheating. Like we're playing the rules, like we're playing the game. Like
Yeah.
you're just understand.
Yeah, it's great having a good coach. And I remember you went to this tournament in Mexico last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we won that. We
Last
won
2
that
years.
one.
Is
Last
that
2
what
years.
brought
Last
them
2 years.
here, or how did
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
pretty
Well,
much-
yeah, that family, the Dominguez family, who are the ones that kind of run the tournament with all their different sponsorships as well. They love to see the talent from the U.S., not just El Paso, right, but from the U.S. because while Mexico has a more like structured, form of playing flag where it's very kind of strict and it's very controlled. The level the skill level that people like Jay High was out there. He plays for the national team. Players like that to go out there, it helps them grow their sport over there as well, and it helps promote the tournament to say, hey, we have some teams come from the U.S. because everybody's like, oh, if they're coming from the U.S., they know football. They're gonna come at a very high level. Those teams that come from the U.S., they're gonna come and give us a show. So we went out there, and of course,
The
we gave a
kids.
show.
Oh, yeah.
And
The kids
shout out
are-
Evo too.
Yeah.
All the teams that were out there for this past.
It was
tour
very
from-
competitive.
Yeah, super competitive. So what they want is they want to come and pull more teams, more teams from here because they see that the level of talent that's here, and then go out there and then Interflag. They're gonna start kind of rotating to different places. So next year, instead of coming here, they're going to Spain.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So us as champs, we get the pass to Spain. So we have the entry over there. So and then we're gonna be doing
be
a
out
couple
there.
of things to fundraise, but we're gonna be at the next Interflag for Spain.
That's
Wow.
Totally, yes.
So if you're
Yes.
listening,
Yes.
and if
Sponsors
you want
are
to
ready.
sponsor a
That's right.
team,
That's right.
we're coming team to sponsor,
That's right.
guys.
That's it.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be out there, God willing. We'll be at the next Interflag, which is gonna be in Spain. I mean, they have
Yeah.
the one in September
Cool.
that's coming. And you're more than welcome. You're invited. We'll take care of you out there. If you want to come out, we'll
That's
house
fun.
you. And yeah,
Good
it was
tacos.
We're
September.
looking for
Yeah,
sponsors.
yeah, and that's the thing of when you talk about the tournament when they have over there. Like, I think the biggest part is like they really look up to us as playing the football, and they look at it like that too. Like what we do is we take like our old extra jerseys that we like have used, and there's a bunch of kids. Like there's kids like literally like we're in the middle of one of our games, and one of the kids had asked me, and I was like, well, okay, give me a second, let me finish my game, and then we'll do it. And then I was like, so we're playing the game, and then he's like just standing there sitting like, hey, this kid's waiting. He goes, excuse me, senor, but like my parents tell me I have to leave. So I'm like, okay, hold on. So I ran all the way to get it, just be like, but it's like the things like that, like that's why we do it, like for the kids and like that too. There's a bunch of kids. I was telling them like, hey, they're like, can you come watch our games? They were asking us to watch their games.
Yeah.
Like we would watch their games.
What
Like,
age groups were there?
Like 10, 9, 10.
10, 11.
Yeah,
all the
Yeah,
way.
they asked for your jerseys. They asked us to come watch the games.
I
and
saw
take
like a
pictures.
Phoenix team.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
That's
the
and that's the cool thing is just the kids. Like, I mean, that's why I do it. I do it still to play because
All right, yeah, I saw Phoenix teams. I mean, of course, teams from here, but like we were talking about earlier, a lot of diversity, a lot of differences, a lot of fun. I mean, talk a little bit more about your journey as champions.
We had some frustrating moments in the beginning, just adjusting, like to because we had so many weapons. It's just like finding the way on how we're gonna use them. So yeah, the beginning of it was like we had our easy games where we outscored the other team. We had games where we left teams at zero, and they just couldn't move the ball against us. But then there was the more competitive teams where it's like, okay, we need to switch this, we need to move that one. Like she's not working here, so where are we? It's just adjustments, honestly. And just keep moving your pieces.
We
Yeah.
start,
Keep
we
moving
start,
your
we
pieces.
start having the El Paso team,
Also,
Juarez
yeah.
team. We just started having
And we are
Also-
very loud. We're the loudest sideline, I'm
Also,
gonna say.
speaking about adjustments, one of the biggest adjustments for us early on in that tournament was adjusting to. We had really high level guys from El Paso, and really high level guys from Juarez, and that's great. You can have athletes, but that doesn't mean you have a team. You know what I mean? So
Getting
what?
that chemistry.
Yeah.
just-
So in the beginning, early games, we had them both on there. See, I had Marcus and one of my guys, Dylan, on defense, and against a really good team, they need to communicate, right? And the communication just wasn't there because they don't know English real well, they don't know Spanish real well. So on defense, we were getting kind of scored on not because the team was moving the ball, but because the communication kind of wasn't there. So
Wow.
we had to kind of adjust and be like, look, the guys from Mexico run this series. You guys are running the series, and
Yeah,
they
it's
were
just
talking, and
rotation.
on offense, all our guys from El Paso, and then they're all talking. So it also, although we all played together out there, out here it was an adjustment. That language barrier was an adjustment because you have to kind of be quick and you have to kind of.
Yes.
I think some people learned Spanish this weekend.
No,
Most definitely.
they were surprised, like, because like I understand more than I can speak, so that's why when I was refereeing like that too, there's a couple of times that they were going into situations, they're like, you sure you can handle this game? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, one of the other refs, but the ref doesn't speak Spanish. I'm like, it's okay. And they're like, hey, you handled it like that too. So a lot of teams were like, or they were trying to say like, telling their teammates like, oh, we're gonna be okay, we're gonna get away with stuff. Because like, I'm like, no, 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 I understand. They're like, no, he understands. Like, so it's just that, just making little adjustments where, and also too, just knowing like sometimes you have to come out, you have to switch. Like, I never saying you have to sub. Like, there's one little kid that was just, he was like a young kid. He's just fat. Like, hey, someone needs to, I can't keep chasing him. Like, someone needs to switch. Someone needs to sub me. Like, I'm going to understand. Where's Dylan? Like, switch. Here, you come chase him.
But the
Like,
tournament's 3 days, right? It was Friday,
3,
Saturday, and
yes.
Sunday. How many games did you guys play?
I played,
And you played every day, or was
Yeah.
it?
Every day.
yeah, I ended up playing 12 total and I won 2 championships. So 12 totals and 2 championships.
And you were in
Yeah,
2
12.
divisions, right?
3. I was in 3
Three.
divisions.
Oh, okay, wow. Three
Yeah, that was the
divisions.
same for me.
And we
3
lost in
divisions.
the semis in one of the divisions, but we'll just
What were your honest thoughts on the tournament?
I think we
Outside.
needed something like this. I'm so glad that it happened. Like I've never seen anything like it, honestly, and I thought it was really, really cool to see. Kind of like I wouldn't. I want to say even though we were challenging each other, but it was like we almost felt like a brother and sister kind of thing because it's like, hey, they play flag football too, so do we,
yeah.
and it's kind of, well, I don't, but like I feel like I do.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
always
all
around you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, I'm in the mix. Yeah,
I'm there every Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought like, wow, what a great thing to have, especially in these days and times, exposure to, Mexican people. So, hey, how cool is that we could play with them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And were you able to mingle with some of the teams from Mexico, or you were at a distance, just kind of?
Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of, how I do my thing. I don't like to really talk on film, but no, I mean, I observed a lot of really cool stuff going on. I heard a lot of cheers from the Mexican
Yeah.
teams.
The gallos.
Yeah.
We don't have-
yeah.
we don't have
Every,
those
we were
cheers,
talking about
bro.
that. Every team has a cheer. Like that's what I was like. I was thinking,
They're like,
we gotta think of
vamos,
something.
vamos. I was like, what?
The
We need a
bleachers
cheer,
were going
bro.
crazy.
Bleachers, yeah.
Give me some cheers.
Yeah, that's another thing with Mexican flag football, man. The environment over there is very family oriented.
Very proud.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
proud.
yeah.
Like I love to see that.
Yeah, you'll see
Everybody's
them
so
line
proud.
up, and they'll be happy for their team regardless. But yeah, those moms and
They
those
rep their
shirts,
colors. They're like, we rep our colors. They rep their colors like
Yeah.
backpacks. Like you seen them,
Yes,
like
definitely.
the moms here, like the team moms and stuff here on the sidelines and stuff. But like it's like a whole nother level.
Yeah,
And they'll go.
it's-
Yeah, it's
Yeah, they have their cheers, and every team has different cheers. It's cool. It's not like a very generic cheers. Everybody has their own thing going. It's pretty cool to see.
No, yeah, it was a great tournament, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
We definitely want to see you guys here again when you win your next championship.
Let's go.
And I know you have different divisions, so if you'd like to come and bring any of your champions, we'd love to have you,
Awesome.
man.
Thanks
Appreciate it.
for
Thank
having
you
us.
so
Like I
much.
thank you
said,
always.
thank you. Thanks to you. Like I said, you're a huge part of the flag community. Just want to point that out. Also want to give a shout out to my uniforms.
Yes.
Takes care of us with all our uniforms. Again, thanks for having us. You guys subscribe to Cool Paso. Hit up Vanessa for all your video game needs. Tell her to send you the price package. They're
Yes.
awesome. She's awesome. Look her up. She's
definitely
great.
part of the flag football family.
Yeah, she supports like that.
Definitely.
And I'll tell you right now. You see her. He's like, oh, okay, you gotta stretch. You like, kind of turn up today. You gotta. It puts a little bit.
She might get an extra
Yeah.
shot.
Might get an extra
it
shot.
Puts a little bit extra. Like, all right, let them smile. You gotta fix yourself a little bit. Just go, hey, how's it going? But we thank you for sure.
Thank you so
Seriously.
much for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much.
All right,
This
thanks,
was great.
guys. Remember to like this video if you liked what you see here, and don't forget to like us on Spotify as well, guys. Yeah,
I'll have Mafia do it in Spanish. Do you like and subscribe?
Like y suscríbanse a Cool El Paso, por favor.
Es todo.